G'day guys, Socket here. Today we're going to continue on with our Room EQ Wizard car audio tuning tutorial series and continue on from our last episode where we were using the USB mic to do some moving mic measurements of our speakers in full range. And in this episode we're going to talk about crossovers, where you set them and how you plug them into your DSP. So let's get going. But before we start looking at last episode's measures, I just want to take a minute to talk about what a crossover is and why you need them in car audio tuning. So let me bring up a couple of measures to help explain crossovers. So here is a tweeter in green and a mid in orange measured in full range, and this is the point here where the two speakers are interacting or crossing over. And it's through this region we call the transition zone, because both speakers are contributing energy or playing the same notes in this region where they're interacting. I mean, if I'm over here at, I don't know, 300 hertz, it's the mid that's playing all of the music at that point. Because the tweeter, while contributing something, is so far down, 50 dB or more. So it's the mid that has the most influence over the notes in this, at this frequency range. Whereas over here, it's kind of shared half and half between the tweeter and the mid, and you can see this is quite messy. Okay, so that interaction between the two speakers and them both playing the same frequencies continues all the way up to about 10,000 hertz in this situation when there are no crossovers applied. So the reason that we use crossovers is to try to help manage a much smoother transition through this through the crossover region, and so you can see here we've applied some 24 dB Liquids Riley crossovers, and you can see that the tweeter has this nice smooth roll off. The mid now has a nice smooth roll off, which is matched in slope, and so these two speakers will hand off in a nice controlled and smooth manner. In fact, when you've got it all right, you will find that the frequency response between the two speakers should be nice and smooth through this region. And if we click on the action button and the TA button here, select the two measures that we want to look at, which are 3 and 4, and we select A plus B to sum them up, and we can see that now in yellow. You can see that when you have the crossovers properly set and the speakers properly timed, you will get a good summation through this transition zone. Okay, so that's just a quick explanation as to what crossovers are and why we need them in car audio. Alright, with the theory out of the way, let's go and have a look at the moving mic measurements that we took in the last episode. So starting with the tweeters, so this is the left tweeter. So what we're looking for is how the left tweeter and the left mid-range are going to interact together. And just having a quick look at the left tweeter, what we're looking for is the point in the graph where we start to get this downhill slope. So on the top end you can see it's pretty level through all of here. If you bit bumps and dips and things, you can kind of run your line through there, and you can see it really starts to drop off or tail off at this point here, which is about 13,000 hertz. On the other side of the speaker, it's starting to kind of roll off and go downhill from about 3,000 excuse me, 3,100, something like that. So that's the way that the left tweeter is playing. So let's compare how the right tweeter is performing. So here's the right tweeter in orange. At the top end it's rolling off roughly about the same spot, about 12 to 13,000. Here we have a bit of a peak, that's fine, and once again around about the 3,000 mark is where the tweeter is playing to. So in other words, these tweeters are playing up to about 13,000. They're playing down to about 3,000, and and then they're losing energy, or are unable to maintain an output below that frequency level. So they're the two tweeters, but what we're interested in when we're setting crossovers is how they're interacting and handing off between speaker pairs. So let's get rid of the right tweeter and let's look at the left mid bass and the left tweeter and how they're interacting together. So these are full range measures, and what we can see here is this mid-range is kind of run. I mean, there's a big hole here, but it's kind of level through all of this, and then starts rolling off and falling off a cliff. Also at about the 3,000 mark. Now, we know our tweeter won't necessarily play way down here, so it makes a lot of sense that we would set our crossover around about the 3,000 mark, where both speakers are naturally rolling off, and deal with this big scoop out when we're doing our EQ work. So that's where I would put the crossover for the left mid and left tweeter. I just want to mention that you don't need to be too worried about where you're setting your crossovers. These are just rough, because when you come to do your EQ work, you're going to have to shift your crossovers so that you can properly EQ your slopes against a target line. So it's very likely that these initial rough crossovers that you're going to put in will not be the final crossovers that you have when you finish your tune. So don't worry too much about getting them absolutely right. Okay, so now that we've decided that we're going to set the crossover for the left hand side at 3,000, let's go and have a look at the right hand side. So here's the right tweeter in orange and the right mid in blue, and once again we've got a big scoop out here on the mid, and around about this 2,000 to 3,000 mark is where the speakers are crossing over. Look, we could, for example, cross it here at 1,700 or at 2,000, but I think because we're going to use 3,000 for the left hand side, it's a good idea to do that on the right as well. And what will happen is this will pull all of this down here, and it will pull all of this tweeter down through this line here. And once again, we'll have to sort of deal with this scoop out using EQ. Okay, now that we have identified our first crossover, we can go into the DSP, load up your tune, and it should still have all your bypasses and safety crossovers set for the tweeters for when we're doing the full range measures. So we're going to start with the left tweeter, and we're going to put in 3,000 as the high pass, and we'll leave the low pass as 20,000, so it goes all the way to maximum. Now we're going to leave the slopes as Linkwood-Riley 24 dBs. They're nice, simple and user-friendly slopes. They add up nicely through the transition zone. So just stick with Linkwood-Riley to start with. Alright, so that's the left tweeter done, and the right tweeter will also make 3,000, and we should be able to now click these two and see that they match. If I change that to 5,000, you'll see that the graph moves, and you can spot if you've accidentally made an error. So 3,000. Okay, so that's our first crossover done. Let's go and have a look at the next pair of speakers. So next will be the crossover between the mid bass and the mids. So let's just turn that off and actually start looking at the mids. So the left we know was rolling off at about 3,000, and it looks like it's about 200 here for the left hand side. That's where it starts sloping down. And if we have a look at the right, once again, it starts to slope off, around about that 180, 190 mark. Okay, so let's have a look at the left mid and the left mid bass, and they are crossing over here at about 212, 213. But if we look at the left mid bass, we can see that it's starting to roll off, here at about 180, falling down, and at the other end, around about the 65 mark, something like that. So somewhere around that 180, 200 mark feels like the right spot for a crossover. Let's check out the right hand side, so the right mid and the right mid bass. These are crossing over at about 160, so a little bit lower than the left hand side. So why don't we aim 200 to 160, so let's see if we can put a crossover in about 180 and just see how we go. Okay, so let's go into the DSP and put that crossover in, so we can open up the software. Now we want to start with the left mid. We want to get rid of these bypasses, and we want to put in 3000 for the low pass and 180 for the high pass. There we are. And we go to the front right, get rid of the bypasses, put in 3000 and 180. And then we go to the lows. We want to get rid of the bypass. And we'll just leave that one for the moment because we don't know what that crossover will be yet. And we want this to be 180. And on the right, same thing, 180. So that's all those crossovers in now. We'll just double check them. So that's the tweeters, that's the mids, and that is the mid bass. And they all look great. So let's move on to the next speaker pair. Right, so back to REW, and let's look at the next crossover, which will be the mid bass to front sub. So we can get rid of these measures and bring the front sub up just to see what it's doing. So look, basically you could say that it's playing from about 90 before it sort of rolls off, and at the other end you could say it's playing from 60 and rolling off, and you'd be probably right. But you could essentially run a line straight through the middle of all of that, EQ this big hump out of the way, and have the speaker playing all the way from 20 up to 100, nearly 200. That's entirely possible, but let's just see what the mid bass is doing. So left mid bass and the right mid bass. Now the levels are not the same. We would have to bump up the level of the right mid bass to sort of get it to match, but where both speakers are kind of playing flat, would be through this kind of region here. So let's call it from 100 through to about that 60 mark is where the sub is playing flat and your mid basses are playing flat. So we're going to put the crossover somewhere in here. So I think a good place might be, let's make it 100, and we'll pop the crossover there and see how we go. So back to the DSP. Let's just turn off all of this stuff. Oops, don't need that. All of that. And now we'll plug in the crossovers for the mid bass. So we want to bypass that and put in 100 for the high pass. And on the right hand side, get rid of the bypass, put in 100 So that's the mid-bass crossovers put in, and now we want to do the same on the front sub, which is on channels K and L in my car. So we want to get rid of the bypass here and put in 100. So that is now the front sub and the mid basses. Okay, that checks out, looks good. Alright, let's do the final crossover, which will be the front sub to rear sub crossover. So back to REW, we're going to get rid of the mid bass measures and the front, and just have a look at what the rear sub is doing. So once again, big honky honk thing going on here. You can kind of imagine the line running through here somewhere. So the rear sub is playing down to almost 130 and then rolling off, and then at the top end, playing to about 14 and then rolling off. So let's bring the front sub in as well. Once again, it's crossing over with the rear sub at about 63. We know that it's rolling off. We said before that we could, kind of EQ that stuff out. We know that we've just set our crossovers with the mid bass at about 100, so we could probably set the crossover at, let's make it 65 and see how we go. Alright, let's pop over to the DSP and do that. So the front subwoofer, take out the bypass, put in 65, so that's done. And then on the rear subwoofer, get rid of the bypass, put in 65, and that's done. And we'll get rid of the low bypass and just take out any slope if we leave it at 24 dB, it'll put in a crossover and attenuate the low end of the sub, which we don't want. So we just turn that slope off, and you can see it run all the way to the end. So that now is the rear sub, front sub, mid bass, the mids, and the tweeters. So all of the crossovers are now all set in, and that kind of looks like we got to the end, and we have everything set up so that we can now go and do our moving mic measures with the crossovers inserted, and then compare them to the free range measures. So thanks very much for sticking all the way through this video. I hope that helped explain how to do crossovers. It can be a little judgmental, like it's not an exact science, but as I said, don't worry too much, because these are just rough crossovers. You're very likely to have to move them when you're doing your EQ work. So, and honestly, if it doesn't work, then go back, try another crossover. Just have fun with it. Anyway, thanks very much again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.